All right.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. Hello and welcome
Well,
to the
good
third
day.
episode.
But first, if we're on YouTube.
Yeah,
don't
for
make a
various
mistake.
reasons. Don't ask why.
Yep.
Go on chapel.
This is our third episode. And we are the Circle Jerks. Welcome. We talk about basically everything or whatever we want. The basic and important rule is that we talk only about the things that we happen to like or that we love to hate.
Hear that? That's surround.
Surround sound mic.
It's our surround sound mic. And right now, this podcast has a variable number of people. But right now, you're going to be witnessing the talents of 5 of us. Maybe 6, don't ask.
Go on chapel.
No, please.
My
don't.
name is Mom. And over
Hi.
there is Dad.
I am Dad.
Over here is Fizzy.
Morning, evening, whatever.
Over there is CG.
Word to you.
And there is Sweet Pea.
I'm a fat, sweaty guy.
Oh no.
Don't take it out of context.
What lies were there in that? And here's another member. He's not important. All right.
Go on chapel.
Yeah.
Stop shilling communists.
Yeah. It's his house. We have no choice. Or is it? All right. So today we're gonna talk about a topic that we've been thinking for a while, and that it might be more relevant because the newest Souls game came out.
No, it's not. No, it's not a Souls game.
Oh, whatever. The new meme hard game for people has come out.
Wasn't that terrible game, Wink Wink, without the difficulty setting? Wink Wink.
You know, turn it in 3 hours.
Yeah, turn it in 3 hours.
Wink.
That wasn't me, by the way.
It's okay. You don't have a PlayStation.
Yeah. So we're not.
Damn.
Wait, he does.
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't.
No, he doesn't.
I didn't just play Kingdom Hearts 3
Or Persona 5.
or Persona 5.
Yeah, okay, so we're not going to talk about the game specifically when it hasn't been out that long. Not all of us have managed to play it. But we're going to talk about how to get good, at least in our experiences of getting good in different things. And not just video games, but in card games, and hopefully, life in general.
Life in general.
Life in general.
What? Very good in life. What the hell
And
is
then,
this?
and here we'll tell you how to be the fattest, sweatiest guy among every one of your friends.
Look, this isn't a life hacks video, okay, man?
No, this is a Smash video.
I was about to
Just put a lot of
comment,
olive
but then
oil.
I realized
Yeah,
we might
listen.
get banned.
If you wanna, listen, all you have to do if you just really want to gain weight quick, here's a quick tip. Ice cream and throw olive oil on it. And then just eat that. That'll help you gain multiple pounds in a day. No shit.
Why
No
do you
lie.
do that?
Oh, I was watching this documentary about how this one film was shot and how the actor had to gain weight really fast. That's what he did.
To
Wow.
be fair, it's like 500
so-
calories for Dairy Queen.
Yeah, right? There's a
It
lot.
will kill you.
Hard mode, I see. Related to the topic.
Why do
Yeah.
you think we divorced?
Yo, don't bring our marital problems here. Okay, so I think I'll bring up something we can all agree on. A lot of the reason that a lot of people suck at things that are hard is
They quit.
they're not willing to get their shit kicked in.
They don't try.
No.
They'll try, and then when
don't
they
get
fail-
up after they
Yeah,
get up
they couldn't
after
be
they-
Batman.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be able to answer Bruce Wayne's dad about, why did we get up, Bruce? Dad, I ain't getting up. I'm returning the game.
To be fair, he was a rich kid.
Oh yeah, he didn't need the money.
He could just pay someone to bring him up.
That said, and you have to do your due research on them. Like, what's good? What makes it good? What makes it bad? How to beat it? How to beat what's good in its own metric and whatnot.
Okay, so you're going first. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So Fizzy's going first on
Alright.
this.
All right, in
Very
that case,
nice.
then
Right.
Yeah, but
this
but
is for
but
card games.
But like on relation to the, you have to be willing to suck first or get your
Yes.
ass kicked. Right?
No, you
That
don't.
and like this is in relation to card games especially, and like a bunch of people who do play card games at first they do suck, and that's because of unfamiliarity with respect to card games. When it comes to that, like 70 to 90% of it is knowing what your opponent.
They also don't know how to read.
That's
Oh
all-
yes, a lot of people don't know how to read.
Rulings.
Guilty.
Yeah.
I'm guilty.
People also don't know how to read in video games. It blows my mind sometimes. When
What do
people,
you mean? Reading games, you mean there's no instruction manual anymore. That's just a promo code for like.
People don't read the
trading
things that
skins.
flash on screen, bro.
You're supposed to
Yeah,
read
they're
that.
just trying to play the game. They're not here to read.
They're not here. They're not here to read. How do I block? It's not like it flashed on the screen. How do I grab? It's not like it flashed on
Press
the screen.
X to
And
block.
that's another
The
thing.
prompt shows up every so often.
That's another thing about card games. You think your opponent is gonna tell you, "Oh yeah, you could have done that." No, get out
Unless
of
they're
here.
just taunting the crap out of you.
Yeah,
that's
very
That
much.
or
Yeah.
it's after the game they're being nice about it. Oh, and they're all like, "Oh, here's what."
I mean, the
think
only
you
way
would've
to
done."
win in card games though is go on a cruise and throw their cards over.
He's still
Say goodbye
lost.
to Exodia.
Goodbye, Exodia!
Why did Pegasus like only print one legit copy of
No, he
Exodia
didn't.
in the
I
world?
didn't-
No,
No,
he
that
didn't.
guy had fake
No, he didn't.
cards.
Oh yeah, he did.
It wasn't fake.
They were
it had
fakes.
invisible ink on it. Didn't make it fake. It just made him hacksaw.
Fun
Okay.
fact.
Oh, well.
Fun fact. His twin deck, the one that's OP in the anime, those are
Sucks
the
in
only
it.
ones. No, those are the only ones he printed.
Oh yeah.
There's no Pegasus in real life, man.
There's only one relinquished.
Shh, no.
In the world. So that's another way to. That's
Don't
another
get me
way to
started
get
on the real
good.
copies of the Seal of Orichalcos.
Oh. So it doesn't take my opponent's soul?
It takes
doesn't.
yours because of how
You have
difficult
to read it.
difficult the summoning condition is.
If you lose the duel, you lose your soul.
Soul.
They don't they don't send.
Yeah,
people to
and
the
for
shadow
anyone
realm.
joining us only now.
will send you to the shadow realm.
Yeah. So for anyone just joining us now, yes, we like to get horribly off tangent as we
Yes.
speak.
Hey, we still talked about card games.
Yeah. So Fizzy, as you were saying.
Yeah, so when it comes to a metagame, you have to know what's in that metagame to play around them. Like when I was playing, back when I was starting out in Arena, I got into it fairly recently.
Magic the
A lot
Magic
of it-
Gathering.
Yes, Magic
The
Gathering
arena though, he's been playing Magic for 8 years maybe.
More than
Oh,
since 2011, I think.
It wasn't continuous. It's
Oh.
on and off.
That's a
But
long
you've known
time.
how to play since
Yeah,
then.
I've known how to play. I picked up one of the more obnoxious decks when I wanted to start out. I wanted to play Blue Control because it looked like fun.
So what you're saying is to
Like,
He
get
wasn't
good-
wrong.
To
He
get
wasn't
good,
wrong.
you need to know what not to do.
Yes, there's that too. You need to and you need to get yourself familiar with the rules a little.
You need to know how to read.
You also need to admit that you have faults and you want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the what? In a card game, it's not your fault. It's the card's fault. Duh.
It's their fault for being richer than you.
Yes.
And for having a try-hard attitude. God,
Wow.
why do people want to win this game other than me?
I know, right?
Why can't they just let me win?
Free Blue Eyes Reed!
I don't know why. They tell me to follow the rules. And when I make a mistake, I get disqualified.
Sometimes you just play to have fun. And yes, I want to win too, but that's important for me.
I mean, who's gonna stop me? The boomers?
They don't know these games. They think they're made by Satan.
Okay, that got me.
That's great.
Damn.
Oh,
There's literal fire here.
All right. So
The fires of hell.
those are your pro tips.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Net decking. Yeah.
Net decking is good.
Yeah.
Explain
Like,
this
um,
concept for people who don't know what the
Okay,
fuck that
net
is.
decking is like this. You see, there are people who win tournaments with decks.
we
So-
call them pros.
Yeah, those are the professionals.
Tryhards.
Tryhards.
Or tryhards.
The hardest
depends
tryhards.
on where your point
People
of
who,
view is.
people who suck off the judges.
Oh, so you mean you just copy their deck? That's
Yes,
net
you just
decking?
copy that, but that's not where you should stop though. You should take
Build
the
a
deck,
playstyle.
tune it.
But Lance, what
Check.
if we're poor?
What if you're poor? Why
Then
are you
stop
playing?
playing the game.
Okay. If you're poor, play the digital versions of the game
Okay, that's
because those are like I really have not.
Bleep his name later.
Okay.
Anyway.
You should
Anyway.
Put a note on that.
Was that me or?
No.
It was him. Alright, keep
Anyway,
going.
you have your if you're playing I've been playing Arena myself. I've been dumped a single dime into it, but I have meta deck already.
Yeah.
Technically, I still need to add a few more of the important stuff. Rares are really hard to come by.
And I brought it up because I just want to say something. there's some people who are like super against it.
Mhm.
But here's the thing. It's kind of when people net deck, it's not like the guy who made it thought of all of that by himself.
Mhm.
Most pros in pretty much anything, any competitive game, even any competitive sport, they have training partners, they have coaches, they have years of work of other pros who they followed. So
Yeah.
it's not like that they got to that level solely through their sheer talent by themselves.
So
I
it's
mean-
not like the anime.
So it's not like the anime.
No,
it's
Except
not,
it kind of is.
it's not.
Some games are, but
Mhm.
most games aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah, have
And
you
so-
seen the tier list for Bakugan Battle
Yeah.
Brawler?
And so
To
honestly,
be fair,
it's kind of arrogant to think that me by myself, I'm somehow gonna come up with the ultimate deck better than everyone else in the world combined.
To be fair,
Sometimes
when
you do.
DI did the one with Yellow Bolt,
Yeah.
I did it
Context.
first.
Card Fight Vanguard.
I did it first, suckers. Well,
But you didn't win.
no, I didn't use it.
But you didn't win.
I
He didn't
use
believe.
it. I
He
didn't
didn't
believe.
They
in it.
didn't use it. Yeah.
No, because
Oh, there you go.
because the one that I have right now, I'm holding in my hands, can't see it. It's still better.
You can't
But
see it, but
he
trust us,
hasn't
he's
won.
correct by based on the meta.
No, that's the thing. Sorry, I might
That's,
add.
I don't want
this.
to talk about that deck.
When you get into a certain point wherein you kind of understand the gameplays of that certain archetype, sometimes you have to be crazy enough to diverge from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a level of skill where you don't need to neck deck that hard because at the level you'll actually get to a place where your theory crafting is already near net deck levels and you're just double checking at that point.
Mhm.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the moment you see a card, you can quantify on how good it is, how good it will work with other cards, but it takes familiarity. And familiarity takes practice. And practice sometimes means you're just reading the cards that
And it's honestly be hard for you to ever build that on your own without the prospect of other people around the world giving their opinions. You just
Mhm.
kind of check it around.
Oh,
Also, those pros have resources, a lot of resources. Card games are really
They're
hard to
also
play.
sponsored by either
Yep.
shops or brands.
Or
When you get high up, well, if you're a YouTuber and you're a card player, TCG player really funds you really well. Also, Card Kingdom.
Yeah, one of these days we might do videos on that
okay.
/ podcast, but not yet. Yo, so Papa, Daddy.
So what's your advice for getting good? You have a
Paps.
specific.
Oh yeah,
Thing in mind?
it's get fucking tortured all the time by better players.
So play online.
Well, more like
Oh yeah, y'all cowards afraid of rank will never get good.
also more like
Pretty much, yeah.
go out there. If
Get
you're scared,
bodied.
if you're scared to get bodied,
You're a loser.
You're a loser. You can get salty. Everyone gets salty. It's fine, but not as salty as I did. Is when I.
Oh, sorry, that just reminded me one thing. Listen, if you're not having fun, then you should stop.
Yeah, that's
Yes, or chill.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the ultimate thing. This is to get good. We're not telling you how to enjoy the game or that you should enjoy every hard game. It's just if you want to get good, you have to enjoy it. Some people don't, that's fine, quit. That doesn't mean you're good, it means you suck, but it's okay, you gotta accept that. Not everyone will be good, and it's okay when you're not enjoying it.
There's no
Yeah,
shame
also-
in being casual.
Yeah, there's no shame in being casual.
Speaking from Magic
Casual
Arena.
acceptance.
Yes. Speaking
Casual
from Magic Arena, like I don't go on to ranked all the time and just toss out my burn deck, especially when my quests don't say anything about playing red cards. Sometimes I just go on the casual queue with one of those pre-constructed decks, and I'm all like, hey, I'm just gonna chill out here. Let's play some fun games. I mean, I run into the occasional nut job who plays meta deck on the casual queue. Why?
All right.
But like there aren't even wins
So
on
Papa.
that thing.
So
Papa.
Well, it's not. It's also not just that, because on fighting game stances, say, because I play a lot of Smash, right? And there are people who and I like these people because
they're
They
They take
they're-
showers.
yes. When they get a character, even though it's not on high on the tier ranks, they just work on that character, and then a lot of times they win. Like, if I remember correctly, Lil Mac is like the lowest tier, like
Oh, yeah.
very much the lowest tier, and then but there's always
That one pro little
that one pro Lil Map
will
player
body you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he'll body you.
who's like top 8 all the time.
And don't complain about cheat tactics like in general. You can't just stay on the edge and spam your moves.
Yeah, they removed
Yeah, I can.
that, you mealy fag.
Can you? Whoa, man.
Also, cheap tactics of cheap counters too.
Actually,
It's made that word is said with all the love possible because the FGC is an accepting place of meritocracy.
And
We're not sponsored by the
They-
FGC.
they removed it anyway.
oh my god.
They removed them anyway.
FGC is more than just evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it is.
No, but anyway,
Well, to add on,
although
Don't be afraid to get bodied.
yeah,
don't be afraid to get bodied. Know your character
Know
if
your
you're doing
character.
a
pretty much.
But also, fine, it's also a thing to look at tier lists because all sword characters are OP as shit.
Where's the lie?
Yeah, that's it.
Where's the
Ganondorf
line?
is a sword character.
Well, oh man, Ganondorf.
It's also hot.
Ganon.
I was
From low tier to the highest mid tier to maybe even high tier.
That's because
I
he has.
got my ass kicked last team building. Last week, I got my ass kicked by one-on-one with that guy. Was so
The
good.
Ganon main.
Yes.
Dude,
Damn.
Ganondorf, it's
pretty
so fun
good.
playing.
And you were like, oh, he too. Oh, when we
I
played
am
him, yeah.
never.
No, before the meme. No, not even before Ultimate. I think we were playing. and You were like, yeah, Ganon just sucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He sucked
And then
until
when we were playing Ultimate, we're like, what is
Ultimate.
this?
I'm like, what happened
No.
here?
Pop
Favorite
Dad.
status.
That guy who I fought, he doesn't even have ultimate. He played in Brawl.
What?
And that's how good Ganondorf is.
That's how good the
skills
transition
in,
was.
yeah, his skills in Brawl transferred into ultimate.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah, that's also a thing. Because, okay, so like, I got good with Tekken by getting bodied a lot, right? And
Courtesy of
and-
mom and yours truly.
and then I noticed that Smash is a completely different game from Tekken, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I somehow got way better, and I think it was because my timing got a lot better. My hand-eye coordination got boosted way up, and so
That's an interesting point because I think that applies to card games too. When you get good at one fighting game, it tends to help you get good at others. And I feel that's the same for card games. You just,
Unless, like,
it gives you the
unless-
mentality.
Or at
Yeah,
least-
you know how much a card is in the game.
But then I
Something.
think like sometimes card
That's
games
why
are,
I'm
like,
so mad at that one deck because it gives you several cards for free.
We don't have time for this rant.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
I'm
the
gonna
next
stop
episode.
here. I'm gonna stop here.
To be fair,
yeah, so
it's the environment.
everything I said is basically how to get good for me. Like, you know, like under character, knowing your character, there's also spacing. You know, that's why it's every time there's a new character, it's so hard. When Bayonetta came out, I wanted to throw my goddamn remote so many goddamn times. It's like, oh, what can Bayonetta do? Oh, what, she can up B thrice? Up specials, I swear to God.
Say hello to the high blast zone for me.
Yeah,
Oh man. Like,
But don't give up because you're afraid.
yeah, actually, yeah. Did that little Mac guy give up just because he was being zoned? Like,
Oh
like,
my.
really? He didn't. Actually, no. You know what? Pro play. He was being zoned and he was thrown out, and then the idiot he was playing against reset his B because he got hit by an arrow. It's like, well, good job, young Link. By the way, if you play young Link, I hate you. and this is coming from a Link player.
Is he still meta?
What the better?
He is still he's the reason why he's meta is because his specials are insanely good.
I still think I find the harder time with regular Link.
The regular Link is because
So
you
welcome
can
to
stake
the
him.
Link
No, and
podcast.
his range is better
Oh,
by
no.
far.
He's not quicker though because
Yeah, he's not. But then I don't know from experience.
yeah, Link is my main. That's and he's not. He's technically right now he's high tier, but before he was like mid to low, and I stuck with him until, haha, he's high tier now. You losers.
Alright, and before we start sucking too much main dick,
Yeah, guys.
let's go talk. Alright, CG, tell me what you want.
I don't know, like, for me, it's like also based on like the difficulty of what you're playing. You should also take into account, because what I hate the most is like, okay, like a learning curve. Like sometimes the game you're playing is like, okay, maybe it's like you suck at first, like it's real bad. Then you start to get the hang of things. And then what I don't like is when it's like, oh, sudden arbitrary, oh, we made the game harder because we like buff the damage of the opponents from out of nowhere, or like you get to a new area and you're like, okay, time to relearn everything again. Oh, that's better. But then there's stuff like artificial difficulty. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
That is the worst. In a video game, nothing turns me off more than artificial difficulty. And the best example I can find is in Ace Combat Assault Horizon. Even though that's the worst Ace Combat game on modern consoles, it like the gameplay, well, the dogfighting system was weird, but it played into how BS that last sequence was. Because in the dogfight mode, you have to keep like your cursor on your target, and then you get special actions, missiles, your MG, stuff like that. But this time, you have to stop a missile from, like a ballistic missile from hitting the White House. That's the end of the game. And to do it, you need to use the dogfight mode. And the thing is, like normally, like the planes would just fly in like two directions. This thing went everywhere. To the point where it took me like 6 tries on the easiest difficulty to even finish that stupid thing. And I look online and everyone's all like, what is up with the difficulty spike? Why is it so hard? And all of a sudden at the end, I was like, yeah, that's dumb. That's really dumb. And if that wasn't the last part of the game, I would be like, no, it's over. I'm done. I'm not playing this anymore. And not only because it's a bad game, but also because it sucks. Like, that sucked. But I can't really, like, games that were difficult for me, like, also, like I found games more difficult when I was younger. You know, before I had my retina destroyed by cathode ray TVs, before I was a certified gamer. Like I have the reaction speed. I got the monster
Certified
energy.
gamer.
Gamers rise up.
and like
Are you-
like even simple games, like when my first PlayStation 1 game that I had with my brother was a Hot Wheels racing game. I flipped my fucking lid because I did not know how to go forward. No, like seriously. And then my brother figured it out. My brother figured it out before me. I was pissed off to the point where I was like, Mom, Dad, tell him, make him tell me how to go.
Hey man, first time I played Mario Kart, I'm like, I'm tilting up. Why aren't I going?
No.
So my first memories of video games would have been that old Simpsons game on the Genesis, the
What?
Sonic game on the Genesis,
Damn.
and
Was it
the
hard for
Elmo
you, though?
game.
But was it hard for you when you were a kid?
You know this? I don't think I ever finished the Simpsons game. It was pretty hard.
Really? The GTA one?
No, that's not Hit and Run. Was like PlayStation 2 era.
Yeah, this was Genesis.
Yeah,
I don't even remember its
Oh
name.
my god.
Dang.
One that I had a hard time completing, that I did eventually complete, was the Toy Story game for the PS1.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the Bugs Life game there too. Man, no one ever talks about those games. They weren't that great,
Yeah.
but they were kind of memorable to me. I liked them.
Well, we're also gonna talk about like hard because of game design. There's this PlayStation 1 game. Do you know the movie Small Soldiers?
Yeah.
Okay, it was like based on that, and the campaign is your
Wait, that wasn't that had a versus mode, right?
yeah.
You could play as the Gorgon.
Yeah.
I remember that. I played that too. Yeah, that was awesome.
Did you finish it?
No.
I
no.
couldn't, because I got stuck in this one level in which it's because the game design itself was like it's nothing but gray and black. and it's like,
going
what's
on?
a door and what's a switch? And then you're just like, there are some enemies right here, you can kill them. Do they drop anything? No. So what are my objectives?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes.
So yeah, this is a lesson for game developers. There's a difference between holding your hand and having a Skyrim style "this is where you go" button, but there's also different. But that's also different from here. We've thrown you there. Try to figure it out. You gotta give some hints, cause guess what? The real world also kind of gives you hints of what to do.
Yeah, that also brings me to another point. It's the difference between difficult and punishing. There is a big difference for me. Like games like Dark Souls are more on the punishing side. Like, oh, you missed a parry, you missed a roll. Well, screw you. Get fucking destroyed.
No, but at the same time, like games like that.
That don't punish you, kind of. There's
But
no
like-
incentive to get good
Yeah.
if it doesn't punish you enough.
But I'm like, there has to be a balance.
Well,
I prefer more
think,
difficult games.
And this is just me being really,
Elitist.
really liking Mega Man, because Mega Man does it right. Because not only are the enemies like made to be this difficult for certain stages, it's when you get hit and fall or die, you're not like, God, screw this game. You're like, damn it,
Oh,
this
that
is
was
my
my
fault.
fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. So
It's like when you make a mistake, you're like, no, I knew that guy throws a hammer in an arc. Why did I run into it? You know.
yeah, that's more understandable. But yeah, so difficult versus punishing is also an issue for me when picking up a game.
I hate the Demon Souls.
Dude, me too.
Oh, wow.
You know what? I almost destroyed my friend's controller.
It's a Demon Souls.
Yes. I'm not kidding.
I understand like boo, you know, like those kind of like, I'm behind the door, you didn't see me thing, but.
It gets tiring after the third fucking time.
Well, it's not just that, like stuff like that. It's usually like, sure, you get hurt, but that's it. You get hurt. You don't die.
Not here.
not
this
here.
time. I think that's what introduced people. I'm like, fucking Cuphead, dude.
See,
But some people
alright.
suck at Cuphead.
A lot of people suck at Cuphead.
Well, but it's not an
Also,
easy game.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
an
not
easy game. It's also one of those where you're like, this is my fault that I lost. But the thing is, it's also
Holy shit, this is
Above-
hard as fuck.
it's also there's like a little bit of RNG in the shop. Because
Really?
if you get the right item at the shop, you're set. You're just set.
Is it the one where he
Teleports
Yeah.
when he
dodges?
dashes? Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
The meta.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of RNG isn't too bad
Oh,
because it helps. It helps.
It helps
play-
spice things up.
It helps
Yeah.
spice things up.
Keeps
Because
things
games without
not boring.
RNG, you're hitting the levels of chess and Go
Yeah.
and board
Or-
games without any dice involved, just pure skill, which is fine. They do have their own niche, but you gotta go. But for most video games, there's gotta be a certain level of RNG, just because players
They
you know,
Don't like
yeah.
RNG.
they like RNG. Sometimes it's fun to overcome it. Sometimes it's fun to be saved by it. You just can't have too much because nobody wants to. Nobody
Constantly
wants
rely
on RNG
Yeah.
one way or the other. I mean, like Pokemon's got a lot of RNG, but you can kind of mitigate it
Oh man.
through time. I mean,
Pokemon.
have you guys seen like a glitchless speed run of Pokemon?
Chances are.
And how easily
Yeah.
people can get wrecked by
Yeah.
bad RNG.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got critical hit by the
Especially early days.
right? Yeah, stuff like that. But see, that's the thing. Pokemon's not badly designed because of that. It's just the way that it's played there necessitates that you are more prone to it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I guess that's a good way to put it. It's fine if you can get easily screwed over by RNG if you're not playing the intended way,
or if you can recover.
or if you, or
Yeah,
it's
if you
possible
can,
to
like, if-
recover.
if you can like, okay, I died, but at least I'm not sent back like an hour in playtime.
Yeah,
Unless
or
you don't
like,
save.
Like, oh my.
or like the or like there's RNG enough just to make this hard, but it's not meant to. Or like when you're developing something, and let's say by whatever metric you have potions, whatever game, and you're just at a point, and the developers think, okay, I think the average player or a good player might use 2 potions in this. So that's what we're gonna do. And maybe before this we've given enough that on average players will have fucking 10. So that they don't have to worry about.
Let me ask a question. Elder Scrolls games. Would you?
He's got issues. They also might be my second favorite series.
Would you still play like
Oh,
Oblivion
God.
or Skyrim if when you pause the game does not pause?
What do you mean by that?
Okay, wait, which
When you-
version of
Oh,
like
oh.
if I'm accessing the menu?
Yeah.
Screw you!
No, okay, here's the thing.
So because it's like doesn't Skyrim be easy when I can just pause fighting mid-dragon, eat 30 cheese rolls?
Okay, no,
Okay,
for
here's
some
the thing.
Meals,
No, wait. Here's the thing.
Good.
Here's the thing.
That's
You just
weird.
You just
On the default menu, and let me preface this by saying that it's my second favorite
Oblivion
game.
sucks.
That it's my second favorite. That
Oblivion sucks.
that Elder Scrolls. He's just bad at games.
Oh, you're not better than me, Nvidia.
Okay, so they were like so. It's probably my second favorite video game series, and in terms of sheer time, it's probably the game series I've played most among all its entries. Bethesda
too.
game, but
You know, the
fuck
second
is
place.
wrong
No,
with
second
you,
place
Mom
is
and Dad?
second place for me is actually Payday for
Oh
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
yeah, a lot. But they're in terms of like their combat, they're not well designed enough that you could get away with that.
Yeah.
It's just they're not. They're fun for other reasons, but the combat itself, at least at higher difficulties, it's not designed in a way where you could get away with you don't pause or you take damage while you're paused.
No,
and that.
like the way you could mitigate that.
Like,
is
it's
that your,
possible.
like healing takes time. Like sure you eat like a shit ton of cheese, but your health isn't instantly max.
That's actually how they usually do it in
Yeah.
pretty much all the mods for the game.
Yeah.
And which is not to say that obviously you can do it, but on the average for a player, it's not gonna occur to them to stock up on these many potions, keep them in their hotkeys tab because by default you honestly do not have enough hotkeys that the game gives you. There just aren't enough options.
Yeah.
There's so many options that the control scheme cannot keep up with
Oh,
what
you
you're doing
can't,
without pausing.
can't use the hotkey Alt F4?
That's the strongest hotkey. I've defeated hundreds of players online through nothing but the Alt F4 key. If neither of us score points, who's the real winner?
Actually.
No.
Literally the game dev.
Oh,
Holy
damn.
shit. I've been
He's the
the
Oh
winner.
winner.
my god. Oh, you know, also,
Defeated
since
them.
I brought it up, games like Payday,
That's also good. Also good.
that's really good. Like the RNG, sure, it's only a pain in the ass when you're playing that Diamond Star, but at the same time, what makes it hard for me is playing with other people I don't know.
Yeah, chat man, you really have to coordinate in that game. You've been screwed over.
Hate when I go online and I find out that Payday 2 was free on Steam for the weekend.
Here comes the
Because
normies.
here comes all these people that have like, oh, they're level 1 infamy and they think they own the game. So like you go in there, you're like, let's play this on loud, and then they're like, actually, this is actually stealth, so you're a noob, and then they leave. Or that one jackass where
calling him out.
you just come in the middle of a stealth game.
Let me just say that we're not gonna get into too much of this, but I just want to bring up. It's an interesting topic, isn't it? Of whether or not are team games inherently more or less skillful because it involves a team.
I think inherently so.
Inherently, what? More or less?
More. And
No,
so
because they-
more, yeah.
Yeah.
There has to be a median, right? Of like skill levels of the entire team.
I played.
Well, that's why stuff like rank supposedly ranks you with people at your same level. But how many people are being boosted just because
yeah.
they're not so terrible that they drag down the team,
But they
but
just
they're
do
not good enough.
But
They're not good enough
to
that
like
they.
carry the team.
Yeah.
They're just there.
Yeah.
It
I
just so
played
happened.
Payday 2 when the bots were just turrets, okay, man?
How good are you if you're the grand finals of any card game tourney, but both your teammates have been undefeated and you've been the one making every round 2-1?
I mean, that's happened already.
That's happened.
It's very possible.
I've seen it happen multiple times.
pretty much.
That's been
Wasn't
me
the one
sometimes.
Like, yeah.
Good.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
group skill, coordination. It takes practice. And, you have to have the right teammates. Randos not allowed. Have a
Yeah.
headset on, you cunt. You type in chat, I'll break your fingers.
Pretty much.
Anyway, and how did we get to this topic again? Where do we start?
Oh no, it's
What
because
did-
I brought up Payday because
Oh,
of
yeah, yeah.
difficulty and all that, and difficulty in your teammates too. Is a
Your
Yeah.
teammates are difficult. Sometimes games were not designed for you to fight against your own teammates. Except for the ones that were, but that's a totally different genre.
Yeah.
Co-op games were not,
Co-op games, you're not supposed to fight your friend.
I mean,
You could.
you could.
I have a disdain for MOBAs.
Yeah.
Whoa there.
MOBAs are garbage.
No skill.
No skill.
No skill.
Wow, you guys
Come
are
at
the
me
ones
with my
that-
low.
You guys are ones
Arbitrary
that top
paywall.
among all of us. I'm the worst in MOBAs. That's right. I admit it. I mean, obviously.
Only 4 hotkeys. What is this, baby time?
4 hotkeys. What is this? Kingdom Hearts.
Four hotkeys.
Like, I also guess the game is more difficult depending on what you have to play. Like AI, well, sometimes AI can, they can
The
get
problem with
they can
AI
get pretty spicy. But if you're playing against another human being, that's a whole different story, man.
But the problem with AI though, right, is that
They can only do so much.
they can only do so much. Otherwise, in a lot of games, the issue is that AI just happens to be
Dumb.
way too
Predictable.
no, to make its
Predictable,
job
yeah.
other than predictable. They have to give them superhuman abilities, or in a lot of RTS, the ability to gain resources at an accelerated rate.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Ooh, something.
honestly, and this might cause a lot of flack. I honestly think games where you have to fight against other people are probably the most skill intensive, just
Yeah.
because even though you can say you can learn a pattern, like when you can download your opponent,
All right. Thank you.
it's hard to say whether or not, because your opponent can
Well,
adapt too.
then it's relative. It's like, sure, that guy, you bodied him. It doesn't mean you're gonna body
Him
the next guy.
time. I mean, sometimes you're just better than someone, and yeah, you will, but sometimes you don't. All right.
So yeah, I understand. Like, yeah, I'd say, yeah, in terms of difficulty, PvP would be harder.
Yeah. Alright, and so I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
his original point was,
Yeah.
there's a difference between it being hard because it makes you learn a lesson and learns you how to do it, and it just dicking with you randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
sometimes the other one is fun. Like
Yeah.
this game I'm playing right now called Shattered Pixel Dungeon. I'm sure some of you guys have heard about that. It's there are moments where it will dick with you randomly. Like you step in the wrong spot accidentally without checking. You get hit with you get hit by you suddenly hit a pitfall,
Oh,
which
so it's
lands
like-
you on another trap
Oh.
and kills you more or less instantly. Yep, it happens.
Well, it's like, you guys know the game I Want to Be the Guy,
Yeah.
the super hard game? I mean, that game's just dicky.
oh yeah.
But it's designed to be dicky, you know it's dicky, so it's kind of fun.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
so-
it's like if the game's all like, oh, it's like
I mean, it's called rage games. Right?
Yeah.
Like those kinds of like.
you expect
Ah,
it to be different.
Rage games.
Kaizo Mario.
What are you guys? Noobs.
Rage game, more like an afternoon tea time.
Tea time? That's like my 5-minute breaks.
More like the time I use in the toilet.
Oh my god. Oh.
What?
Difficulty.
Oh god.
Difficulty in games can, yeah. It depends on the person actually.
Oh, by the way, final word on that Payday 2 thing. Before you jump into online, check your goddamn skills, you absolute abhorrent
Alright!
Wow.
Creepy!
Wow, you really like your payday. I'm waiting for mine too.
Oh, that's coming soon.
Alright,
Coming soon,
Creepy!
just a week,
We're
just a
spending
week.
too much time. What do you have to
I
say
know,
about
right?
getting good?
Okay, here's one to topic both for card games and life in general. know your environment.
Oh yes, know the metagame.
EV.
No, not just the metagame, but the stakes. For example, in a lot of card game tournaments, people complain about these rule sharkers, people who point out to you
Oh.
whether because you're not doing the rules correctly and then you get disqualified. You know, there is a way to counter said rule sharkers if they're really wrong. Yet if you're just gonna whine after an event that someone is rule sharking you and you didn't do it during the event, well, it's not really the rule sharker's fault also.
It's your fault for not.
It's your fault too. You're in a
Yeah.
tournament.
And on the flip side, honestly, the rule sharkers should be strict because there are people who cheat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say I'm not cheating. Yeah, here's the thing. You can't prove that. You literally can't prove it to someone that you're not. That they didn't just catch. How are we supposed to know that you're telling the truth?
Tell it.
Yeah. And
Did you really not drop that land by accident? Right?
yeah.
In MTG, how do you know? Pro players have been caught cheating. So, why should I believe your
Like,
scrum
oops,
ass?
my LAN cable disconnected, Just
Pretty
like-
much, yeah.
Oops, I
Or-
saw the screen of the other guy I'm playing against. Oops, I have
What
a
is
guy
this,
in the
Halo
crap.
2?
Oops,
Yeah.
I have.
Oops, I just dropped another one.
Jumping
Oops.
into an online
Did
and
I-
suddenly
did-
all the
did that-
guards die? Huh.
Did that
Oops,
ability
I'm literally
just,
hacking the
did I
game,
just
but yeah.
use that ability but I just did it again?
Yeah. Well, to drive the further the point home,
Did I not read the card either?
pretty much, right? Like, if the tournament is like, let's say, tournament
stakes.
or like even in an exam,
Locals.
competitive exam or something, wherein you need required to have more focus, and when someone points out to you that you're not either doing focus well enough or you're not being in that environment in a well appropriate manner, it's not the environment's fault now. It's actually yours.
You must adapt.
You must adapt to it.
Improvise and overcome.
And, for the love of God, take a shower.
Yes, this is for the card gamers in particular.
No, also gamers in
Oh,
general.
okay.
Gamers in general. Okay, like, I understand gamer girl P, haha, but stop bathing in it, please.
One example here, there's this nice, I think it's Twitter, the one who shows the guy who was excited for the new game, Sekiro.
Oh, Sekiro, yeah.
Yeah, I referenced a while ago. I mean, yes, it's frustrating, it doesn't have a hard setting, but come
It
on.
doesn't have a difficulty setting.
Yeah.
Period.
And like, I understand.
Is that more or less dicky than Devil May Cry? Which, if after you die enough, you have unlocked easy mode.
really?
Well, I'd say that's more like well, Devil May Cry is just like sometimes it just makes fun of just what's going on in general.
Well, it's already at the fifth game
Well,
anyways.
See, my thinking for games like Devil May Cry is, and here's something because I was reading scrub quotes. That's a Twitter that you might want to look at. That's just random quotes from really scrubby people. Someone who complained that the game was pay to win because you can buy orbs, which it's really easy to get orbs if you're either willing to spend the time or you happen to be good, and you can just buy revives with money. And he's like, it's pay to win because how am I supposed to beat the harder difficulties without it?
Then
And it's
practice.
like there's no downside to it, and it's like it makes your rank at the end lower. And he's like, but what does the rank matter?
Oh
Yeah, you
my
should just
God.
finish the game. That's not the
I mean-
point of the game, really. It's not. The games aren't even that hard on the hearts. You can just kind of cheese them. What you're
Yeah.
meant to do is look like a fucking badass when you
combo that.
I mean, the system shows it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason the system got all those combos. It wants you to look like a badass who teleports behind them, slashes them 100 times, shoots them with a billion guns, and be like, yeah, that's right.
That's
Alright,
why you
it's not
you
Devil May
get
Cry
great.
2.
Nothing personal.
That's why you
You know.
get graded on how stylish you are.
Yeah.
If-
Actually, that's
bunch of
the
normies.
entire point, actually.
Yeah.
So environment, check.
Environment. Yeah. And unfortunately, as a share, this is also precisely why when I used to play competitive chess, that's also precisely why I didn't get good enough. Because honestly, we weren't taking the entire thing seriously enough.
That's true. That is totally true.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Like, also going into environment, like, what if you come into thinking about all the mind games and stuff? Like, if someone makes a bet with you or something, it's like a good example is when Eddie Guerrero grabbed Rey Mysterio's son, did Rey Mysterio get it into his head that he probably will lose his son and he'll lose his son? No!
He won that ladder
He won
match.
that ladder match to get his custody of his son back.
Yeah, we also talk about wrestling.
Because
Because Vicky Guerrero didn't come out and
oh, all right. Okay. Obviously, I'm memeing, but like you know, that's also a thing. Making bets before the game
It's
is
psychological,
strategy.
man. It's
That is
psychological.
strategy. Taunts are strategy, and if you ban them,
Key
you're
charging is strategy.
and if you want to ban them, you're kind of a loser.
Completely true.
Well,
It really is. Psychologically, if it's gonna tilt your opponent, you might as well do it.
yeah, all's fair, but of course within the rules.
Yeah, all fair is within the rules.
Never forget all of those people complaining on Facebook about how unfair it is to Rule Shark. But then, like,
Well, if you got Rule Shark, that means you did something wrong.
but then if you notice, the people who are complaining about Rule Shark are also the people who don't really read the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Your fault.
yeah.
RTFR in this one.
I
It's
mean,
like when people forget this untap upkeep draw. I hate
magic. Yeah.
that. Yeah, don't you hate that when some people are like, no, it doesn't even matter if you ended up correcting it after. You gotta do it.
I mean,
In the right
did you
order.
remember when I was kind of mad in that one Commander game when one of our friends just told me, yeah, just do whatever you want because, like, I don't care. And then when somebody else's turn, and then he does a game-changing move, and then like, wait, can we back up? I remember, it was in my
Right.
party. I told
Yeah.
him, like, if you really wanted to stop game-changing things, then stop making other people not explain what you're trying to do. I mean, we're giving you the option of being able to respond to us, but then if you're only going to act like you're gonna respond to, you're going to ignore everything. In fact, I see that guy cheating a lot in those games too. But like, come on,
Rules for thee, not for me.
this is the rules for you, honestly.
Yeah, so what else is there for difficulty for you?
Okay.
Rules for them, but not for me.
Yeah,
I
rules
forgot
Wait, it's
to-
not about difficulty. It's about how to get how
I
to
forgot.
Yeah, how to get
overcome the
good.
difficulty.
No, because
Wow, I forgot to tag politics.
No, because like I know if you like in a tournament you really want to win, but then you're not taking it seriously enough.
Then why are you in the tournament?
Then why are you going to be so butthurt when somebody more competitive than you is
winning.
winning?
It's also a terrible attitude that why you gotta take it so seriously. And I'm like, would you feel better if someone beat you without any effort and while they're just shitting around? Or if at least they took you seriously when they defeated you? You'd probably feel worse if they looked like they were just jacking
Just
off.
mean.
Well,
Yeah. Come on,
while-
it's
while
not
being-
like the anime versions where you're like, that was a great
Just getting
fight.
flexed
Oh no,
on.
I forgot to do this move.
Bam.
I did-
Flexed.
What do you mean I can't use my catapult turtle to fly Guy the Dragon Champion and destroy the moon, causing a tidal wave to destroy all
Pegasus
the
is a
monsters?
hack.
No, he flew Gaia the Fierce Knight into the flotation rings of the Dark Castle.
We're talking about two different fights here.
Yeah,
He
he's
was
talking about the
bullet.
one where he attacks the moon.
Yeah.
No, but then that was Stone Soldier.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Ignore
You're right.
these.
You're right. You're right. I can
Why
combine
did Yugi's cards have the effects of the later versions of the cards that got printed after
I
when they
don't know.
weren't there yet?
Pharaoh powers.
His Celtic Guardian had the effect of obstinate Celtic
I
Guardian.
mean, obnoxious.
Obnoxious Celtic Guardian.
Yeah.
Before it was ever printed.
Although Obstinate is also
Wasn't
a
it
card.
weird that when
Uh.
Mai was fighting the samurai deck, in the end it turns out that the samurai deck was actually fake deck? So how did the harpies get hurt?
As a side tangent, it's still fucking hilarious.
That Kaiba killed a man.
No. When Yugi fights the fake Exodia deck, Kaiba's like, I could disqualify this guy right away, but I won't, because it's Yugi, and I'm Zero Kaiba.
Rule Sharkin.
So when you make the
Goddamn
rules,
rules.
it's fine.
Yeah, when he makes the rules, it's fine. I mean, would you diss the head judge?
Yeah,
Right.
you could.
Yeah.
You could.
And remember, that's a rule in pretty much every card game. Every competitive game. You can't disagree with whoever's the head judge.
Unfortunately.
Even if they're wrong, you can't.
Although that's one thing I am okay with disputing after the event when the head judge is
Is wrong.
Yeah, And
That's
then,
pretty much the only time that you should dispute after and not at the event itself.
Oh, actually, that's also true for some actual competitive sports, like what's the sword fighting one called again?
Fencing.
There you
What
go.
the fuck?
Sorry.
Uncultured.
Excuse me. I brain farted.
Lightsaber dueling.
You know how I found that out? Miraculous ladybug.
What about tennis?
Man, we're totally gonna have an episode of
oh
that.
man, no, then you know,
Greatest French anime ever.
I know.
Never watch it.
But then, like, also difficulty has to do with your innate skill in the game.
yeah.
Like, sometimes
pretty
you're
much.
just good. Other people just really
So you mean talent?
skill,
Yeah.
talent, same thing.
Well,
Dare you say talent?
if it has to be my thing, I've got to say that although there's practice in the field is always good because that will make you good too, never be afraid or unwilling to just boringly practice with yourself or try to theory craft by yourself.
Kazuya players who keep practicing electric?
Yeah, until 200 hours, until you've done 200 hours of electrics and your neurons change such that you can do it in your sleep. You haven't done enough.
Not only that,
Yeah.
like, they spend more time in the practice than and versus mode online.
I mean, you can
Jesus.
tell
Hey.
what's like skill versus talent. Like when that Korean Tekken player fought that Filipino Tekken player.
Oh man.
Which
Also-
one? CBM versus AK?
Well,
Also,
But AK.
sorry, relevant Bruce Lee quote. I fear the man who has not not the man who has practiced 1,000 techniques once, but the man who has practiced one technique 1,000 times.
Yeah, and you know what I have to say to that quote?
Parry.
Fear not the man who has released 1,000 games. Fear the man who has released one game 1,000 times.
fear not the man who has released 1,000 memes, different memes, but fear the man who has released the same meme 1,000 times.
Hey you, you're finally awake.
Hey guys, want to lower our viewer count? Here's an example that's very interesting that didn't get shown in the anime version. Kirito, the ever-loving God
Ever
mode.
loving crap out.
Yeah, the God mode guy from Sword Art Online, the guy we all hate.
Yeah.
In volume
Yeah.
2 of the light novel, the one with Sachi, you know, where Sachi dies, he actually...
Spoiler.
Whoa there! Episode 6 spoilers?
Should I cast the spoilers?
No! But here's the thing.
Yeah, it's a bad show anyway.
I haven't thought about the light
Wait.
novel. Whoa there. Just to
No,
point
the
an
first-
example.
the first
Well,
one
the
was-
newest one is pretty good.
Yeah, no. Just to point an example. He knew what the stakes were that game. He knew that nobody else, if he had an advantage over everyone else and he had to do his part for the game, he decided while he was in a low level guild, he just decided to just train non-stop, almost like 24 hours. Yeah, and then he also felt rather guilty about it. But then at the same time, he knew
You
what.
didn't show it.
Yeah, no, he did in the light novel, not in the anime. But then here's the thing: he knew the stakes were. He knew that he wanted to get out, and that's what I mean about environment here at this point. Because everyone was giving him shit, even inside the game, about how he was hogging up all the experience points. But the thing is,
Get good.
it's get good. It's a life or death situation. And like a large part, we're in the first arc of Sword Art Online.
We also
issue.
talk anime.
Yeah, no, we do though.
Yeah, we do though.
But like everyone was already
We didn't
becoming
talk about
complacent.
Miraculous.
Yeah, but like everyone was getting complacent at the
Yeah.
very end, and then it was actually the anime
Yes.
does
Oh, yeah,
not
that
show it.
That's also a thing. Complacency between players.
Yeah, and
It's-
then
yeah.
and then they hate on people take it seriously.
Yeah.
But like, come on, the people take it seriously get the win.
I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta
but-
take it seriously
Yo.
if people who play video games are now millionaires.
And on a
We do.
on just the slightest defense, at the very least, you should announce that you're gonna be really casual about whatever before having someone join or challenging someone. Because you can't just assume everyone's only gonna take it as seriously as you.
Yeah,
Yeah. So if you're gonna say, I'm really bad, can we just play low level? See, that's fine. You
That's
can't,
fine.
You don't come with the attitude, I'm the hottest shit ever, and then get mad when someone's wrecking your shit.
Hey,
Because
man.
apparently you're not the hot shit.
Hey man, I'm just
It's
weak at
humble.
Smash, okay? Just kidding,
Yeah.
I'm actually really
You
good.
should,
Oh,
you
God.
should be humbled.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
What?
And
Yeah,
you know
let-
what?
Know your place. And
Also,
not in the,
here's a little bonus thing don't ever show mercy. Don't. That's actual weakness. You think that's like a joke or like an evil kind of evil laugh kind of thing? No, everyone in the world is evil.
Whoa.
It's
When it comes to
already
card game, when it comes to games,
Unless you both agree, you guys are training
Unless
someone.
you're actually Jesus, you are evil incarnate. Like, don't ever show mercy in a video game.
Unless-
If I'm playing against my nephew who's like 5 years old, he's like,
body.
How do I throw the bomb? I'll
Reach.
throw your body.
Whoa there. But if you guys are friends and you guys are doing a training seminar thing, and he doesn't really know how the game is played,
Yeah, but the thing is,
No, do body the
Unless
trend,
it's a
but
stranger.
explain what you're doing.
yeah,
but the thing is, this is a versus mode, not a training mode.
yeah.
So-
No, if it's versus mode, go whatever you want. But,
No, that's all okay. Just to quote one of the thing my professor said is, learn that people aren't against you, they're for themselves.
yeah.
That's something he told me, and I was like, you know what, that makes sense.
Fun fact.
and at the end of the day, like when a lot of people complain that like, oh, why doesn't the game do this or like why you gotta be so hard on me? And it's like, well, one,
How are you gonna learn?
Yeah.
well, yeah, one, how are you gonna learn? Two, just stay at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. There's a level that you should probably hold back if someone's really asking you to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't just randomly hold back because one, when someone beats you because you were holding back, if they have a bad attitude, and this is especially true if you're online and there's no way to know, or in a random card game tourney and there's no way for them to know that you were just trying to be kind, even if it's just random casual game, they're gonna get an inflated sense of how good they are,
Yeah.
and they're gonna fall even harder into the shit. What's the effect called again? The one where as your skill progresses, your overconfidence increases until you.
I forgot what it's called. but
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you
Shit.
mean.
We're forgetting
Like
that
the less skilled you are, the more the more
Because no,
self-estimated
you
skill
start
you
start at a level where your estimation
It's more like
of your skill and
overconfidence.
how
Yeah.
skilled you are is correct, and then as you gain a little skill, your confidence rises up faster than your skill. And then you finally hit the fact where, oh, I suck, and then you get down here, and then
Yeah.
you can finally hit the level where, yes, I am good,
That's
and
true.
I am I'm great. I'm also objectively great.
That also works for academics, honestly.
Yeah, and you're gonna fuck people up if you push them to the place where I'm great, but their actual skill level is lower. I realized I was doing hand gestures and you guys can't see me.
That's okay. I think you want to emote more. you know?
Yeah.
Also, one thing also, this works for card games, but I think it also works for most gamers. Oh, for the love of God, if you lose, stop making fucking stupid ass excuses.
Oh, shit.
Okay,
That's my
fine.
controller, guys.
Kind of bit political, but then since I am so into the community in Vanguard here, I've heard stories. Somebody from an outsider person from a certain
This'll be good.
major tourney. It's like 30 people. This person, and then she's a she.
Oh, no wonder.
Oh boy.
No, I know what. No, you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
She's
No,
a she.
I
She
get it.
reaches high top, and then the TO is nice, but then he just says berates everyone who lost her. Ha! You lost to a girl. Like, don't
Wow.
make excuses for that. Seriously, guys. Not just guys, everyone. Like, oh no, I only lost because I didn't get the things that I wanted. And you're supposed to do like this and this and this, but then you countered me. No.
If only I had drawn the right card, I would. Then you didn't, bitch.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
take
If only I
take
had
it like a
opened
man.
with the.
If only.
I had opened with the God hand and you had the worst hand possible, I would beat everyone in the world.
If I only
Surely, surely
Okay.
my unbelievable skill would have shown through and made me a god.
RNG fuck you.
If
I'm
only-
trying to get back on the stage. Why would you fly out and hit me?
And
Piece
George-
of shit.
I was supposed
Okay.
to press counter in the last minute, but then I taunted, and then you did the Ganondorf wizard punch.
Which is not to say that shit like accidentally hitting a missed input doesn't happen, but it happened.
Yeah.
A loss
If
is
it
a loss.
happens, just take it.
A loss is a
That
loss.
happens.
A loss is a loss.
Yeah.
Like,
You learn.
like you fuck up.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you're gonna learn never to fuck up again.
Yeah.
Because if
That
your
said-
fuck ups
I'm
don't
sorry.
cost you anything, you're never gonna learn. No matter how many times you accidentally leave your wallet somewhere until it finally goes missing, you're never gonna get panicked. I'm just saying, yeah.
Link Joker's too
Also-
strong. Your Chronicle's
Okay.
too strong.
Fuck
Bermuda
control.
Triangle. Okay, there, I finally
Bermuda's
say-
too strong.
Rafi?
Them fish waifus.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Don't bring it up because it's harder to edit out the more you say it.
Okay, here's the thing.
Okay,
getting too
okay.
hot. It's
My
too
god
hot.
hand, my deck's god hand could not beat that deck's shit hand.
Too
Okay?
hot. Too
I
hot.
played.
That's why.
I play 7
I'm mad
months
at it.
without fail with that deck, dude.
Too hot. Too hot.
Too hot. Alright. So
Very spicy.
I guess covering everything, the only point I would add is, and this is a game design point, you have to reward players at certain levels. Like going back to the curve, one of the reasons the curve happens, and the curve happening of your overestimation of your skill happens. It's technically a bad thing, but it kind of says that the game is good because you should reward players as they get better
Yeah.
progressively.
Yeah.
You shouldn't hold out all the rewards for only someone who's at the very top, because at the end of the
Who's
day,
gonna play?
the people at the very top are a very select few. That's why it's the top.
And sometimes the top falls off too.
Yeah.
Sometimes they
So-
quit.
Yeah.
So you're gonna want to give some advice. So you're gonna want to give incentive for the players who are just improving to get good. I think that's like ultimately, if you want to talk about game design of any game, that should be something like something rewarding, even if it's not at the high skill. Now, admittedly, that's harder in card games, just because you could then only be fighting people at your skill level. Because I mean, even with
That's actually the stagnation of some shops,
Right.
unfortunately.
Plus, like, even with two people, if two people had different skills but the same deck in card games, you're kind of just gonna kick the shit out of the other guy.
Oh, yeah.
And getting better cards only increases it so much, right? And sometimes people start out with good cards and they're just shit, which is gonna
Well,
turn off.
that depends on the format.
Depends on the
unfortunately.
format, depends on the card game,
I
but
mean, have you seen Modern recently?
yeah. But there should be something. When you get at a certain level of good, doesn't even have to be the top, doesn't even have to be very far from scrub. You should be able to say,
Wow,
wow,
I've gotten
that's
better."
pretty cool.
I gotten better.
Yeah. You should be before you're ready to make for DMC5, how about before you're ready to make a YouTube video about how kick-ass your combo is, before you're at that level of skill, there should be a level where you go, oh holy shit, I flung that dude into the air, lit him on fire, cut him 1 billion times. That's
That was
cool.
tight.
That's some scrub shit.
Yeah.
But when you think to yourself, wow, I looked pretty cool doing that, that's a reward and an incentive.
Yeah.
Even in card games, it should be something as simple as
Wow,
at the
this
low
is
levels of
cool.
skills, oh hey, I figured out how combo, or this is how that deck works, I kind of understand it now.
Yeah.
It's rewarding to me that I'm not confused about these interactions.
Or like,
Also, I mean, the one I like in the one I liked in Arena is when you get the green deck and you just land the right number of dudes to summon your Galta. So good. Look at the dinosaur footprint.
or even like something like Tekken. The first time I low parried, I was so fucking happy.
I've done it.
The cheese
I've
to the
done it.
floor.
The cheesing is done.
Or-
Time to begin.
Done it.
In Smash, the first time I wave dash in Ultimate, I broke my controller. But it was amazing.
Worth it.
Worth it.
Yeah, you gotta make them feel that they're getting something. You gotta start somewhere in the middle. You can kind of slow down in the middle because a lot of people will plateau there, and that's when you'll really discover the ones who are just and the ones who are gonna make it, who will actually be good.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of boring stuff. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of boring practice and boring just doing this over and over again if you want to be really good at anything.
Brain data, what's that?
Brain data,
Oh,
what's that?
Herder, EV training, IV breeding. Just
They
join.
made that so easy though.
They made it. They can do it with any Pokemon now. Honestly.
What are my
You wanna trade?
what do I do with a non-optimal hand in order to get back to optimality? What's my counter play to my opponent's counter play?
What's the yeah.
How do I beat the net deck? All those things are rewarding at a certain point, but to scrubs, they'll never get there. But it's nice that some people will get there. And they'll be like,
Actually
all right,
take
this
the
is
time to give a shit.
this is the time. All right, I decided I don't give a shit. I'm out. Or I do give a shit. I'm gonna continue. You gotta get people to that level. You can't punish people at the lowest level, and you also can't give them all the rewards at the lowest level, because then everyone's just gonna be like, eh. That
Yeah,
was
what do you
it.
think
Is that
this is? Communism?
Yamete. Yamete.
Yamete.
Yamit.
You meat.
Yame, stop.
Yay meat.
Yame no could stop.
So, really, I guess if you wanted to be good, if any of our advice meant anything, I guess it just means don't have the scrub attitude. That's very broad, but I guess that's really what it amounts to. You don't have the scrub attitude.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
And on the development side, please reward people who don't have the scrub attitude, and try to train them not to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never forget. Remember, if you're a Vanguard player and you say final turn, unironically or against strangers, go fuck yourself.
Final
This isn't an anime.
Go fuck yourself.
This isn't an anime.
But I say final turn. I say final turn when I'm about to pass turn and they're gonna draw the line.
That's fair.
As a mind game, that's pretty nice. Although they made it against the rules or something already.
Which one?
Something like that.
Key
Final
charge.
Oh my
turn.
god.
You're not
Okay.
allowed to say final turn in the tournament. or
Really?
something.
Fucking
Really?
Mom. Fucking key charge before death fist.
The mind game. Key charge before unblockable.
Oh my, I remember this one post. When I see any of these sleeves, I mean, because Vanguard is a Japanese card game, so they're pretty liberal on how they view art. Never forget this one guy who says, "Oh, when I see someone with that art and it's a tournament, I'll just walk out and lose outright."
Alright, thanks,
Alright,
Scrub
thanks.
Lord.
Okay, thanks for that idea, Tucker.
For the
Looking
win.
for these sleeves.
That guy is still there.
Is not taking a shower actually a strategy to distract your opponent with
Oh
your
my
smell?
god, you're right.
Who's
I'm
the smell?
if my opponent's choking out because of my BO.
Wow.
Is
I
it,
guess I win.
I guess I win.
What kind of competitions do they have in furry cons then?
Ask Sonic.
Whoa.
Is that the reason no one can tilt him?
Whoa.
Love you, Sonic.
So is it better to
You a great
not be
player,
able
you
to
a great
smell?
player.
I not be able to. Yeah, not being able to smell.
Love your ego.
Oh my. I'm going. That's a good idea. We create an
Yeah.
anti.
Well, that could be another top. That could be a topic for another time. Should you do
Showering?
No. Should,
Personal hygiene.
can you do dicky but legal? Should you be allowed to do dicky but legal
Yeah.
things in tyranny?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff is also like
Mind game.
big brain plays too.
4D chess.
It's like that one guy who the only
No, but could you should you be allowed to pretend to have a major coughing fit as you're doing a combo so your opponent thinks you're about to drop it? And they look
no,
at
it's
you.
his fault for not wearing headphones, man.
Yeah, it's his fault for not wearing headphones.
Oh, is it that person's fault for getting hit by a car because he had AirPods on?
Huh. Is it his fault for not having the AirPods off?
Well, you think that's?
Yeah,
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
That's basically
Anything? Well, we did put game design. Any advice, direct advice to game developers? Because we just gave this to players mostly.
Alright,
Guys, Caligula dev team, please make more Caligula. I know it's an average game, but oh my god, I love the average game. Okay.
Okay, you know what? For like Smash Ultimate, Sakura had the right idea when he made the level 9 CPU, like the hardest level 9 CPU ever in Smash history, because they actually do like pro play games and stuff, and because of that, my Link got crazy better than the last Smash
Yeah,
game.
you
So,
know
like,
what? Yeah, that's.
yeah, because like a lot of times, because I don't like paying for the online thing that Nintendo does, because Nintendo's online is a bit bullshit. But
Make your players feel bad, but not too bad. Sorry, that's just my. I couldn't think of another way to phrase it. Make your players feel bad, but not too bad. Because if they don't feel bad, they'll never learn. If they feel too bad, they'll also
They'll
never
drop.
I
learn.
think you
No,
mean
the
the
drop.
proper
The drops,
amount of frustration.
Yeah.
The one that's more
No,
engaging
it's-
rather
I would
than
say frustration, more like tension.
there. Tension's a better word.
you know what? Like a good example is when you're playing a lay player online, he beats your ass. He goes, "You're not good enough."
Tilt.
Still, that's the best win quote in the game, though.
No, okay, no, like for me, I'm with Dan on this one. It's because I think, like in fighting games especially, that you should be able to manually set the difficulty of the AI. It's like when you're doing like story mode or time attack, they get progressively hard. But then games like Smash Ultimate and God bless DOA 5 last round, because the setting there is 1 to 9. Also, 1 is dumb, stupid, like retarded. Like it doesn't do anything.
You punch you.
Just no, it's not even blocking. It's just pressing it forward. And then when you get to 9, these guys will destroy you. Like I would bet even against like the proest of players, given the right character, even the level 9 CPU will demolish them. But then DOA 60 AI is retarded, so they dropped the ball on that one.
Aw.
No.
Really?
According to
players-
Lucent, yes. According to Lucent, yes, they dropped the ball on the AI.
Well,
When you make something really hard, you gotta make sure you be able to train players
like
somehow.
no, what I mean is like there's a scale, so it's like okay, I beat 2. I think I can go to 3. It's a better way to gauge your skill, I guess, and you know more or less where you
where you stand, yeah.
So that's my suggestion.
oh, actually, come to think of it, even first-person shooters, like, because there are some games where the AI enemy, they're smart. They'll use their surroundings.
Sometimes
they'll
they'll
flank you.
Sometimes they'll just flat out cheat though.
Yeah,
they'll flank you and all that stuff. That's like good stuff. But then like
Oh,
you get to the old Call of Duty games where
they're just cheating.
when,
just
when
look
they
into the wall.
when they're harder, all they do is throw like infinite grenades. At
Oh,
you.
so wait.
It's like-
So what you're telling the developers is learn to code.
Yeah. No, but
I've been waiting for that one.
good. But on a funny note, it's like
Alright.
the AI in FPS, they kind of
Yeah, they do.
by necessity they basically have to cheat
Yeah.
because AI can't miss on purpose, basically,
Yeah. They,
right? Their reactions is too good. So
you
either
have to nerf the reaction.
yeah.
the
So
reaction time.
but
Careful.
since you nerf the reaction time, basically you'd if you made it a baseline level, anyone who's moving after that faster than that baseline level would 100% beat them because they couldn't autocorrect. They should be able to, etc.
Well, I guess in FPSs, you're
FPSs aren't a competitive genre.
No, that and I'm like
Lost
why would you
every
even-
Russian
Why
watching.
would you even think competing against the AI is real competition?
It's not.
In the first place? Yeah.
It's not
Basically,
yeah,
in no game
Yeah.
is it real competition. It's a good training partner, but yeah. Fizzy, what do you have to say to game developers?
About that,
More
well,
free-to-play.
honestly, it would be more for card game developers, but I see the dilemma on their end on this because, like, I follow Hearthstone as well. I don't play it anymore because
Oh well.
it doesn't. Yeah. Oh well. It's more like good riddance. I don't really want to play that anymore because the game's kind of stale. They try to hype things up whenever they do a new set, and it just falls flat. It's just falling flat now on my end, and like
So what's the
So what's the
suggestion?
advice?
Yeah,
the
what's
advice is playtest your games. Find a balance.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's a good
That-
idea.
That is a good one. Nice.
But
Yes,
like in a
it
lot
does.
of, in pretty much every game, I think, and I understand
Also-
that you're a developer, that the developers are developers and they're basically never pros, but
Almost.
almost. But it's like, yeah, you really got to test your games, and it always feels like, and again, it goes back to what I was saying about how net decks are always gonna be pretty much always better than what a single person comes up with. All the developers, the biggest development team in the world cannot compete with everyone in the world attempting to beat their game's ass. So, it's like, yeah, you can only test so much, but you've really got to test these things and see how in practice. Because in theory, some things seem balanced, some things seem fun, and then you try it and you're like, wow,
I fucked up.
I fucked up. Or, this was easier / harder than I thought.
Yeah.
Back to
or,
the drawing
huh.
board.
Actually, you know what? I also have a different.
Oh god.
No, but like devs or higher ups, anyone listening, if ever
Or
you are
anyone who is
listening,
just an independent who's going to make the
just,
game.
Know your community.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
Oh,
also
totes.
a thing because like
Oh,
you
there,
can't
nice.
be
You
one
can't appeal
dev.
to everyone.
You can't,
Mhm.
you know, obviously, but you can't be that one dev that thinks just because you're making a game, you think you're superior to everyone else.
Oh, I
A
know
lot
what
of
you're
your-
referring to. Smash
Also-
Brothers Brawl, anyone?
I'm also talking about Dawn of War 3.
Oh, oh.
Also,
I'm also talking about Vanguard's tournament system.
Oh yeah.
But I'm
also-
not talking about Todd Howard.
Yeah,
He is
yes.
a god.
He's a genius. A genuous.
A
Sorry.
Skyrimist.
Like this also this is going to loop back to Hearthstone, but the dev and those community manager interactions are so lifeless in my opinion. Like they show up to hype everything up in tournament season, and once it's done, they stop showing up. They stop talking.
So
Like, it's a cycle.
elections.
Yes, it's like elections. Exactly, they're like politicians.
Oh no, and now we're getting political.
Oh my god!
It's
Okay, don't worry,
time
don't
to
worry.
end this podcast.
All right,
Ladies
it's
and
a bit late,
gentlemen,
guys.
this has been Mother.
Fizzy.
This has been Dad.
CG.
Sweet pea.
And see us next week or next week when we come up with another topic.
Yeah, see you jerks.
Hope you enjoy, and hopefully this video actually does go up on YouTube. Peace out.
Yay!
What up?
Todd Howard 2020.
Jerks out.